Hey guys, how you guys doing? Hopefully great, right? Anyway, so this is a 1660 Super, and you know how I've been hammering you guys about having your cards, your heavy cards on a riser. Well, this is not a heavy card. This is actually a moderate size, GPU. Even the cooler is it's relatively small. It's actually this one right here. And as you can see, it's a tiny cooler compared to the card here. Give me a second. So there. Okay, so it's a small card once you take the cooler into account. Okay. But today's video is just going to be a short one. Kind of wanted to demonstrate so that you guys understand because for me at least, you telling me something and me doing it is a whole different thing. So it's better if I do it or if I see it, then it sticks. It makes more sense in my head. That's just me. Okay, what you're looking at here is damaged VRAM. Okay. Now, so that this makes more sense. Okay, so let's put this aside here. This is Hynix GDDR6, by the way. So notice that the orientation of these chips, right? Notice the orientation of these chips. Both are like this. This is the orientation. There's a dot at the corner of each chip, that tells you, for example, right here, that dot has to be, here. Okay. The same goes for this one here at the bottom. This one also has to have a dot. The dot, sorry, I'm not focusing here. Has to have the dot going here at this point. So here and here. Now notice that coincidentally, both of them towards the bottom. So they're like this. If you flip them around, their orientation is like this, exactly like this. Just backwards, obviously. Now, why do you guys think? What do you think? What do you guys think it's happening here? If you said the rip pads because of they're close to the PCI slot, you'd be right. What you're looking at here is RIP memory pads caused to stress due to stress on the PCI slot. And this is not even a heavy card, but it is an old one. However, this can also occur if you drop it. That would be a reason. Or if you install the card too hard, or if you bend it while it's in the slot, this can cause these pads to rip. And what I mean by pads, what I mean by that is those silvery little dots that you see there. Those dots are solder, okay, solder points. And those solder points have to match those on the board. They have to line up so that they make connection, okay? The brown stuff that you see there, it's those solder points gone. They're ripped off. Once those solder points are ripped off the memory, there is no fixing the memory. This is junk. This is junk. If sometimes they do rip off the board as well, but in this case we didn't have that. When I removed the RAM, when this RAM came off, literally those little chips, or not little chips, but little dots just fell right off right there. As I lifted the chip and I brought it here, it just all fell off like particles. It's actually funny because that's never happened to me like that. I had many rip pads in the past, but this is funny. Like this first time that I see that. But anyway, I'm glad that the pads on the GPU are okay though. The black ones that you see there, these right here, these are no connect pads. Okay, So this is just for testing during manufacturing. It's just, you don't worry about those. So I'm going to be ordering these chips here. This card belongs to my friend who supplies me with all this work. I'm very thankful to him for that. But anyway, yeah, so I'll be ordering these chips here, replacing them, and I'll be putting a new shroud on that little cooler because I don't have a shroud for this card, and I'll be giving it back to him so he can, you know, do his thing. But yeah, and you know, another thing too is like this card, because of its size, is not, you know, you don't see that bow, right? That, you know, that bend. So this is okay. This is okay to have it in a horizontal position. You know, it's not that much weight or anything like that. But when you do have a heavy card, like I've been drilling you guys and talking about this in many of my videos, this is what happens. These little pads right here, they rip right off, not just from here. They also rip from here. What this results, when you start having memory problems like this, you start seeing this is the screen is just bad here, so that's not artifacts, but you will start seeing little dots all over the place, or lines, you know, vertical lines like this. Yeah, vertical lines. That's memory related 90% of the time. When you start seeing speckles like green, blue, or textures, funny, you know, things going on with the texture, that's typically core. And two things could be happening. What could be happening is that you may have the same situation here, like that, but underneath the core. If this happens to the core, that's a goner. That you can't replace those pads on the core. You can replace them on the board, but the core has to be chucked away, and maybe you can find a new one to put on there. But it will be very costly work to do, especially on a 1660 Super like this. This is not something that I would offer as a job. I will not, because it will cost more than the actual card is worth. So no. But yeah, anyway, so the same situation that you see here, but imagine that under the core, okay? Ripped pads under the core, and that would be due to the GPU either being dropped or sagging, because you see this wants to be flat, okay? That chip wants to be on a flat surface. It doesn't want to be on anything bowed, and if you do that, you create a gap in between there, and it'll rip those pads right off the back of the chip or off the board. And if it's off the chip, you're done for. So yeah, that's why I tell you guys, you know, put your heavy graphics card on a riser if you're going to spend that much time, because then you won't have to deal with, you know, having your stuff ending up in a reflowing machine, getting your core reballed or reflowed. I do reflow my GPU cores. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of technicians out there that say, okay, you know, you don't need to, you know, reflowing doesn't do anything. Yes, for the most part, that is correct. But there are instances where a simple reflow can mend those cracked solder joints. Now, if it's ripped pads, a reflow won't do anything for you. So that's why it is preferred to lift the core up and reball it, because then you know, you're doing the job properly, if that is what's needed. But if the reflow fixes it, 9 out of 10 times, I've had I do actually own a 1080 Ti. I've had it for a couple of years. Reflow the core, a card works just fine until this day. So, you know, it was just a simple crack joints. But anyway, yeah, I just wanted to really quickly, visually, you know, give you guys an example what happens when the GPU sags and it starts to rip. The surface is no longer flat and it begins to bow, and as that bows, boom, it rips the pads off the chips, core or memory. Anyway, that's all I had for now, guys. It was more like a educational, just type of FYI type of deal. I hope you guys enjoy the video anyway, and you're all doing great. If you did like it, please hit thumbs up. Here, thumbs up. If you didn't like it, you know what to do. Subscribe for more content coming up. I appreciate all of you and all your comments. I read everything that you guys post, and I try to reply to everything that you mention, positive or negative. You guys take care. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.